What's up? Today I was gonna make a video about time and ways to manage time and all sorts of stuff like that. And now it's 5:49 p.m. because I got stuck doing a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I got to talk to some really cool students and some prospective students, and I did a little interview for somebody who needed to interview someone in the industry, and it was actually really fun. So I did not get stuck doing it, but here I am, and I was just trying to make this quick video about time, and it didn't get done. So just saying, it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna start this whole timer. I'm gonna see if I can do it all in 20 minutes. It feels like just working really hard for a long time and trying and keep trying is a good idea. It seems like that's the type of work you need to put into things when you're learning. But it's not how our brains work. Trying to cram a bunch of stuff in, and you're probably making a bunch of new problems that you're not able to see because you're not clear-headed. So little things like this time timer here, or let's see what other things I got around here. There's all sorts of devices. This is the, this is the classic time timer. If you don't know what these are, they are cool. This woman actually invented it because her kids asked that age-old question, how much longer? And they wanted, and she couldn't. You can't tell a kid 10 more minutes. They don't even know what that means. So if you use this time timer, then it shows you how much time is left. And that's not always what you want to know, like when is it going to be over? But the point is that you want to time box things. You want to say, I'm going to spend 30 minutes focusing on this thing. And then you need to get up and you need to, just do some you need to do some stretches or go get some food and let your mind get clear. Whatever it is, go to the restroom, walk around the block, go make a phone call or something that is different to clear the air. So this allows you to do that, to set little blocks of time, and it makes a little ding, and it's nice. It's a good thing to do. Another thing, this is one from before. It's not exactly accurate anymore, but you could just take a clock, and you can take some. You're probably younger than me at this point, but when I was a kid, the teacher would draw on this overhead projector, and these were the pens, and I wasn't allowed to touch them. So, of course, since I'm not allowed to use them, I love using them. For example, when I was making the course, the Perpetual Education Design for the Web course, we made up this little plan. So we just drew it on here. So from 11 to 1 was just research time. We already have a wealth of knowledge from our experience in the field, but we're trying to perpetually research these things. So all these books back here, for example, we take them, open them up, read them. There's another video about that. And so just for 2 hours of the day, every day, it's just calmly reading books to see what other amazing little bits of knowledge we can pull out of those and put into the course. Then from 1 to 3, that was writing time. So basically we write new lesson plans or adjust the lesson plans, write blog posts, write just all sorts of things, just taking what we learned in those books and sort of putting them into some kind of formal writing. Then from 3 to 4 would be exercise. Get out of the house, get out of the office, wherever you are, and just go do something. Let me show you these things. Check out these amazing, gigantic rollerblades that I bought. So there's all sorts of exercises you can do. Do a little jog, a little brisk walk over to get a taco.
Hey everybody, you're listening to the Chalky Horror Show, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Hold on. I'm gonna put some echo on that. Let's see. Live from Los Angeles, California.
Then from 4 to 7 was computer time, because you're not allowed to use the computer all day or you'll just make a bunch of messes for yourself. Thinking, spending time with the books, writing, oftentimes on paper, that's going to get you organized. Once you start using the computer, it's almost like you're starting to fix your problems. You know, once you start typing into the content management system or writing code, you're immediately just creating more work and time for yourself because you've put it inside a little tiny screen. You can't see the whole blog post from a bird's eye view. We often joke about making an entire wall computer screen so we can look at the entire lesson plan all at one time. But once it gets shoved into this little tiny screen here, then you've like hidden the project that you're working on from yourself. If you can keep the thinking and the writing separate from using the computer, then you will save yourself a ton of time. And that's what we're always talking about, right? That we don't have enough time. We have lots of time. We're just using it to do the wrong things, oftentimes preemptively fixing things that we should have never even made. From 4 to 7 was computer time. Now, from 4 to 5 is usually when I would create some kind of graphics using Adobe Illustrator or Affinity Designer or something. Probably in what I learned, I decided to make a chart for one of the lessons. And from 5 to 6, I would put the lesson plan in place, which mostly means just now taking all the writing I had done and the graphics I had made and actually committing it to the content management system. Because like I said, once it's in there, it's really hard to reason with. It's hard to get to all the places where if you need to change the type, it's not impossible. It's still a great content management system, but your productivity goes way down as soon as things are actually committed to the computer, whether that be code or whatever. Having a little paper prototype is always going to be like 1,000 times productivity. And then once you put it into code, it's like 1 times productivity. So anyway, you can take a clock like this. You could just, it's just buy a cheap clock. Actually, we just got another clock from the evil empire. Because honestly, I wouldn't even know where to buy a clock in this case from anywhere else. But in general, fuck Amazon. Look at this clock. Ta-da! You can put it on the wall. If you look closely at the back, there's usually some kind of mechanism that keeps the plastic on. Ah! Uh-oh. Only 10 minutes left. Aha! I opened it. I don't know why I used this drill. It's hurting my hand. Anyway, you can get this cheap clock like this at like IKEA for a couple dollars. I think there's one for 99 cents. And you could take off the top of it if you want. And you could take it apart a little more than that. And then you could actually permanently draw some stuff on there too. But these wet erase markers are good. You could probably just use like a red Sharpie. I think this thing was like $9 or something. That's an option. These guys are a little more expensive. Kind of a sucker here about the like kind of cool branded version that was for that book Sprint, but it is a nice bright blue. I like it. It also just comes off. I don't know why that's so cool, but it does. So this one was like $38, but you could buy the exact same one for $26 if you go to the other website. What else we got? You have an Apple Watch, the most expensive timer in the world, probably. Well, yeah, pretty much, as far as maybe like a Pomodoro thing. So there's this whole idea that you could have a Pomodoro app. I don't know what that is. It's kind of like an egg timer, and they have tons and tons of apps. You can look them up online. I like the one that's called Tomato. Look, it's a cute little tomato. What? Oh, see, it's not the blue clock. It's this other one. This one has things so it can stick up on our whiteboards, or you can hang it on the wall. It's pretty fun. Making sure that the timer's making sure that the timer is fun is good, because every time you use a computer or an app on your phone, they try to make them. There's this one app that makes little trees grow, and it's very cute, and it's beautiful little drawings. But every step of the way, everything I have to open or turn on or turn off or go in and set something or delete things. Even the alarm system on the iPhone is just crappy, terrible user interface. I have these iPads and all these different computers. There's just so much shit around here that distract you. I'm looking at an iPad up there on the wall. I'm looking at this other iMac over here. They all have clocks on them. They're not helpful. What's helpful is setting a certain amount of time, and the point is not to do more work by creating more apps that you have to do. Trello is a great application for when you're working on a team and you're managing lots of big projects. But what's really good is a piece of paper. That's also really good. So you don't want to create a Trello and a Google document and whatever, all these different companies coming out. Oh, it's so fun to manage your time, track your time. No, it's not. It's not fun to manage your time and track your time. What's fun to do is work. And the best way you can do work is by breaking it up into chunks. 90 minutes is pretty good, but a lot of people don't have the strength to do 90 minutes, and they need to work up to 90 minutes. But really just sitting down, focusing on something, take your little phone, turn off the little sounds, put it on airplane mode, put it on non-distraction mode, whatever you need to do. You need to focus for a set amount of time, and then you need to let go, completely let go. I promise when you come back in an hour, you're going to realize that there's already an array method called reverse. So you don't need to do this for each thing and create a whole new array. You just haven't thought about it because you're too in the moment. You're too sucked into whatever problem you're having, and you're not able to get a distance on it. You're not, and ask a friend. If it takes longer than a half an hour to try to figure out what to do with any programming problem, first of all, the programming problem is probably too big. You need to break it down into something smaller. And then when you've broken it down into something smaller, if it takes more than 20 or 30 minutes, ask somebody else. It's not cheating. You need an outside perspective. These clocks aren't just to force you to work. They're to force you not to work. So when it's time to take a break, you got to set the time aside and go do something else. Don't you dare start working again, checking that email. Oh, one more thing. Let me change that variable from let to const. No, just you have to go find something else to do. There's tons of things to do. You could play a synthesizer. That would be fun. You could play the guitar for a little bit, if you have one of those. You could dance around in the room by yourself. You could make a cup of tea. It would be good for you. Might use a timer. You could just do some exercise or some jumping jacks, standing in place. Just lay down. You can even drink the tea. chair. Chalky doesn't want to go to lunch with me. Look at yourself in the mirror. Was it something I said when he was trying to leave? Give yourself an orgasm. Next on some or one of your friends. Other level, maybe a hot dog and chili. It's fun. But just a bunch of vegetables. Chalky! You funky alien. Go skateboarding. Why don't you wanna go to lunch with me? Talk to one of your friends. I thought, they're real. This guy's from another planet. Maybe Oakland, maybe Seattle. Shoot, what other timing things was I gotta talk about? I think that's all. I mean, writing out checklists is pretty helpful. Keep it simple. Only put things on the checklist that you can actually get done. If you're not getting things done, break them down into smaller pieces. I think that's all. My whole note for myself was just clocks. So I showed you a bunch of clocks. I still have 5 minutes left on this timer, and now I'm going to go try to edit this video out really fast. So I hope that helps. If you have any information about fun ways of managing your time, you should let us know, because I would be interested. Ivy would be interested. Our students would be interested. You know, the reason why we built our class the way we did, which is part-time on purpose, not because it used to be full-time and then we cut it in half to try to, you know, accommodate this whole online COVID learning situation. It's because we want you to spend up to, 90 minutes or 30 minutes, little chunks, watching the video for each lesson, reading the video, and then throughout the day, you just think about things at work. Everything that you've been inspired by throughout the lesson can now exist in your job. Oh, maybe this way that they're ordering this list, talking about how we reverse things or whatever silly topic or concept we're talking about that day. And then you live your whole life, and then at night you come home and you get down to business. You set one of these timers for 30 minutes and you do one of the exercises, and then you let go. Then you see your family, you get whatever you need to do, check your email, go for a sprint in the backyard, go rollerblading around your neighborhood, make a nice meal, and don't feel like you're in this crazy rat race and that everybody needs to rush. Let the information seep in and make sure you have time to focus and then time to not focus, or whatever you want to call it. Focus on other things. Be human. You don't want to live inside of this stupid computer all day. In fact, you should really probably only be typing into this thing like an hour a day. That's probably the best. Anyway, those are my thoughts on clocks.